Hey there, I am happy to share with you the process that I go through to create my Instagram stories highlight covers. Now, the first step is choosing your categories. So what I did was I created a file in Google Docs. You can do this on paper, you can do it in a notepad, whatever works for you. I just decided to keep it in a Google Doc because then I can go back to it and add to it and change things. But this just helps me be organized. So you want to think of the categories. So for instance, I have blog. So I'll include or feature any new blog posts. And then I just break things down. Like I have art, tutorials, life things I want to share, things I'm doing with, my friends and family, just random things. Quotes I want to share, any kind of news. Studio would be for studio peaks, products I want to share, any kind of biz tips for things I want to share with my followers on running a business, and just any kind of events. So you want to come up with your categories first because that will make the process so much easier. So go ahead and grab a pad, grab a doc on your computer, whatever works, and just start brainstorming the categories that you want to break things into. And if you want to keep it simple and just start out with a few, don't overwhelm yourself, and then write those down, and then we'll go on to step 2. Step 2 is going to be choosing the icons that you will use to coordinate with your categories. Now, I'm going to show you Creative Market because this is what I use, but you can find free graphics online. You can also draw them yourself. Maybe if you sketch or do watercolor, you can create your own. I have created a collection that I'm going to share with you of some things that I think are a good possibility. So let me go into my collection and I'm going to show it to you. And if you're on the blog, there's also a link that has all of the items that I've included in the collection so that you can click right to them. So I'm going to look at the collection and I'm going to show you kind of what you're looking for. So I've come up with, I found these. I thought these were pretty good. There's about 10 of them in here. I might add more. And what you want to look for are icons that will coordinate with the categories that you have come up with. So for instance, let me grab, let's go into this one. I try to keep a good variety. Some of these are like $2, some are like, $29, but some of them have a lot in them. One of the things you want to look for, unless you know how to do this, ping formats, the PNG format means it's a clear or a transparent background, and that's what you want. Now, if you have the ability to use Illustrator, or you can even open a Photoshop file and you can still pull out and save these little images as ping files, but keep it really simple for yourself. So for instance, here's one of the files, and let's go in and look at it a little larger. And so let's say, for instance, we're going to do a category that, let's see, maybe we would, I don't know, I use a little house icon for my studio. You could use that. Here's a paintbrush. That could be for art. You could just go through and see what you think works. Here's a little movie camera. I use a movie camera for tutorials. If you're a photographer, there's a camera if you want to highlight your photos. So basically it's going through and looking for those icons that you want to coordinate with the categories that you've chosen. And then what I do is I save them all by name. So if I choose for blog, I'll just say, blog icon or art icon or studio icon, and then save those, make sure they're PNG files, and then they're ready to go for the next step. So you want to go ahead and find your icons to go with your categories. And then we'll go on to step number 3. Step 3 is going to be creating your highlight covers. I'm going to use Canva. It's free to use. The paid program or the paid service allows you to create folders to organize, but you do not have to pay to use this. And it's really, really easy. So once you set up a free account, you're going to go up into the right top corner and click Use Custom Dimensions. Click on that. And then you want to make sure you have pixels. PX is chosen. And the size you want to use is 1080 by 1920. Then click Design. And then your canvas will open up. All right, so this is now the size of the Instagram story. So what you want to do is we're going to keep it really simple. You can go into backgrounds. Over here on the left, you can choose color. You can also choose patterns. There are lots of free ones, and then there's some paid ones. They're like $1. I'm going to keep it really easy and just go with a color. So basically all I'm doing is clicking in here to edit. All right, now I'm going to go up to text. I'm going to click on text. And when you see this kind of pop up, you just scroll down just a tad where you see the little crosshex, then move it up. And then over here, you can change the font. So there's preloaded fonts. You can add fonts. I'm just going to choose one I've already loaded. You can change the font size right here. And you can change the color right here. Super easy. All right, so let's call this one Tutorials. You want to do this for all of your covers. Now I'm going to slide this up just a little bit and let's make that white. Let's change that color to white. Okay. Okay, so now we have tutorials. And basically this is just an identifier. So you just put that up there. You can even put a hashtag on it if you wanted to, but basically it's just, that's your category. Okay, so now you want to go to uploads. And I have a paid plan because I have so much content. So I have a folder for social media icons, but you can just click on upload. So basically you're going to upload your image. Remember those little icons that you found, the ones you saved by your category that are all PNG? That's what we're going to go for. So tutorials coordinates with my little movie camera. So all you do is click on it. Notice how there is no background. That's because it's a PNG file. Now it needs to be larger than this, so I'm going to grab the handle here. You don't need to hold the shift key down. I'm going to drag it open, slide it down to right about here. And see that little cross line? That's when you know it's lined up, but it looks like my file might be a little off, so I'm just going to move it over here. And just make sure you've got it the size you want, and now you're all set. So now your tutorial cover is ready, or whatever you're using. Now, to simply make a copy of this, just click on this the little thing here where it says copy this page. It's actually a page. They call them pages, not canvases. And then you can click into the next one that you've just saved. And then I'm just going to type blog. I don't want this anymore, so I can click on it and hit delete. And then I'm going to go over here and grab the icon I use for my blog. So I'm going to raise that up a little bit, make it larger right about there, and now it's finished. So you want to continue to do this for all of your covers. Now, I also want to suggest, because when you add these to your story, this is what your viewers are going to see, at least for 24 hours. So what you want to do, or at least I recommend this, is to create a slide that is sort of an explainer slide. And here's what I mean. So what I did was I created one that basically said, hey, I'm working on my highlights. These are my covers. And then you can say something in the next one, maybe, yeah, these are, you know, these are the slides coming up, or something like that. And then that way they'll know, and it won't be like, what? That's kind of strange. Really? Okay. So now what do? What do we do from here? All right, I'm just going to click over here on save, and up here, if you click on this word, this is your design title. I'm just going to say IG Stories Covers, and then hit done. Now we want to download everything. So once you have them all done, you click download. I'm going to put these as JPEGs, and I want them all. Now I'm only going to do the one, but you'll want to download all of them. So I'm just going to type one, and that way only this first one will download. So I'm going to click on download. And then from here, you're going to want to get these to your phone. So my suggestion is to either use Dropbox, or you can use AirDrop to get these onto your phone. So go ahead and create your covers, create your explainer covers if you want to create those, and then get those onto your phone, and then we'll go to the next step. Welcome to step 4. Now, in step 4, we're going to add our covers to our story. This is the first step. Got to do this first. So you just go up and hit your camera icon. Then you're going to go into your camera roll, and you're going to find your covers. So this is my first cover, and I'm just going to put them in. It doesn't matter what order you put them in, because they will show up differently in your highlights based on the content that you put in them. So whichever is your newest content you've added to your highlight, that's what's going to show up. So I'll show you that. So now we're going to send to, and we're going to click my story. I know this is going into my story, but I can delete it after. I really want to show you guys how to make this work. I'm going to click send. Now you want to go into your account, and you want to go into and click new. So let's create a brand new one. And I'm going to choose my blog, the blog cover. I'm going to click next. And this is where you're going to create your title. So we're going to type blog, and then you want to edit your cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll this up, use my fingers to expand it a little bit to make it large enough that it fits right in the center, and then I'm going to click done. Then click add, and now you'll see I have my icon right there. It's the first one that has the word blog underneath. Now let's add something to it. So if we go in and we click on it, you're going to, oh, that's the slide. Sorry. Hold your finger down a little bit on it and then hit edit highlight. And that's it. You just click on it, and now you're going to be able to come in here and change it. Now let me do this, and again, it's in the right spot. So I think we're good with that. I'm going to click done. The title is right, and that looks good. Okay, so now we want to add to our highlights. So go ahead and add all of your header or your covers, and then I'm going to show you how to add to each of your highlights, each of your highlight categories. All right, go ahead and do that, and then we will add to them. Okay, once you have all of your categories added and your covers added, you're going to click by holding down, go into edit, and then up here in the top corner, you're going to click on archive. And then just choose, I'm just going to pick these two, and then hit done. Then I'm going to hold it down and edit highlight, and now you can see those two categories, or those two particular stories have been now added to that category. If you want to remove them, you just uncheck them and hit done. And then I'll go back and look at it, and you'll see now I'm watching the story, and there's just the one there, right? And then it goes on over to my second one. So that's all you do. And as I mentioned earlier, when you are adding to your highlights, see how blog is the first one, and then tutorials, and then events. If I add to events, it's going to change position and be the first one. So it's always showing your most current and your most up-to-date ones. Now, I want to reiterate that you have to leave your cover image in here, or you'll lose it. So it's always going to be in there, but it basically is just kind of a marker for that particular category. So don't worry that it's in there and it kind of looks odd, but everyone's doing it this way, and this is the way you have to do it in order to have it, unless you wanted to have one of your art images or one of your other images. That can be your cover, and then you can just have a title. So this is just a tutorial to show you how to do them customized for your own, so they all look consistent. So that is how you do it. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask, and I will be happy to help in any way I can. All right, thank you so much, and have an awesome day.